Stories about the past, murder, mayhem, solving truth or myths through the fog and the mist. Meg's Mysteries tells the tales of legends of the past, present and future, mythical stories of who done it. Most of all, it's done for fun. Or is it?
Welcome back to Meg's Mysteries. This story's called The Wallflowers Club. 1969, high school years. Supposed to be the best years of your life. New and exciting things to learn, make new friends to last a lifetime. But the only good thing about it was our new club, which we called the Wallflowers Club. A person who has no one to dance with, shy, feels all alone, awkward, or excluded from a party or a dance. That's what the Wallflowers are. We all met at our first real high school dance. The boys on one side, the girls on the other, just looking at each other, hoping to get asked for a dance. Everyone's nervous and scared to be the last one to be asked, or not asked at all. Staying on the sidelines and watching and waiting. The cool kids gather all around each other and start to take the lead, the first to dance. Of course, the prettiest girls and the handsome boys get together. The music starts and we all watch from our hiding spots on the side. The whole dance we sit and wait, but to no avail. But something happens. We form a kind of a family of nerds and shy souls. It bonds us so closely throughout our lives. A new group is formed, a lifetime friends. The Wallflower Club is established. In our homeroom, after the first catastrophe of the dance, we put our plan in action. So what if we're not the popular kids, the ones never picked to dance or go to a party? We are a new group now, staying together, and it's just where we belong. The others can pick on us or ignore us, but we are family now. Our homeroom is the library in the school. Miss Hershey is a librarian and homeroom teacher. She yells, "Quiet now, it's a library, not just your homeroom. I want quiet." Roll call. Melinda Day, here. Debbie Adler, here. Susan Spring. I go by Susan now, Miss Hershey, here. Well, Susan, that's not the name on your paperwork. You will be called Susan, not Sue. Back to roll call. James Costello. Here, and I'm Jimbo to my friends. And he gets up and looks around the room, which they're all laughing. Hush now, Miss Hershey yells. James, sit down. Peter Colombo. Here. Michael Warren. Mick for short, and I'm here, Miss Hershey. If you don't mind, it's Mick. The rest of the boys crack up and they get sent down to the office. Miss Hershey is not happy and will tolerate no nonsense. The only other boys left were Doug Lesser, Stuart Long, and Harvey Green, the nerds of the group. But come to find out later, they become our best friends. They know just how we felt to be a wallflower, the less popular girls in class. But we stick together from that day on. We watch out for each other. Our first dance was on the sidelines, but now we're together. So we come together as the Wallflowers Club. I said as we get our first meeting in the hall, let's go to study hall. Let the popular kids tease us. We know better. We're stronger together. Now we are a family of friends. I guess every class had their tormentors who loved to tease and put others down, but we'll fight back in our own way. Gym class was the roughest for most of us. We were not very athletic, but smarter than the jocks and the cheerleaders. That is why they were relentless and kept on embarrassing us, calling us names. Some teachers looked the other way, and we remember just who they were. Our list is now growing every day, more becoming the Wallflower Club. When we finally have our day, it'll be a day of reckoning. More than half the year now, and talk of junior prom, but we're only freshmen. But some of the girls are asked by the juniors. Betty Lou, the head cheerleader, she's in our gym class, and she teases Sue and Debbie all the time. Well, I guess you girls will not be asked. You're only freshmen, and the juniors don't even notice you. No one notices you. And then she goes with her crowd of followers, just as mean as she is. I say, don't listen to her. They only like her because she's the vice principal's niece. And why would we want to go to a junior prom anyway? We'll have our own prom soon enough. Well, they felt a little better, but being the brunt of her jokes was getting to them. I said, we'll have our day, don't worry. We told the boys what happened in the locker room, and they say the same thing happens to them all the time. The jocks were relentless with their teasing and actually hurting them. Nerd bumps, they called them when they hit them in the arm. They hit Doug, Stu, and Harvey all the time, punching them so hard it left bruises. Or they pushed them in a shower with their clothes on. They had to wear wet clothes all day. Well, that's when we came up with our own kind of payback. Going to a teacher or principal was not our way, and in the long run we would have hell to pay. They'll get us back. So we had to invent a new way to handle the problem. That's when the Wallflowers really came together to fight our evildoers, as we called them, the tormentors. Now the plan was to mess with their heads. They're not the smartest bunch in the school, and we were. Now the fun begins. In some classes we had our own way to put them down. We always knew the right answers, and when they got things wrong, we stepped in to take the credit. The teachers all knew who the brains were, and who just got pushed ahead just by the skin of their teeth. The jocks and the pretty girls. The school needs jocks and cheerleaders. They even had the nerve to ask for help when failing. Of course, we were there to help them, but just barely help them. Most of them failed anyway. Some was even put off the team, and the head cheerleader was caught cheating. I was glad of that myself. Who's the popular one now? All her so-called friends just left her on her own, not wanting anything to do with her. But our victory was short-lived. Somehow we were blamed. We really did nothing. They did to themselves. But tragedy struck one of our own. Jimbo took his revenge on the shyest nerd, Harvey. He took turns with his buddies to torment and torture him every chance they had. It was just too much. One day Harvey had enough. We all were in a lunchroom when it started. Jimbo and his goons took Harvey's tray and dumped it on him, and started pushing him around and around. Before we could help, Harvey punched Jimbo in the nose, making him bleed. Then the lunchroom teacher broke them up, sending them to the principal. Jimbo was yelling at him, "I'll get you, Harvey." Harvey just smiled and looked at us as he walked by. The next day in the locker room, Jimbo found Harvey alone, and he and his goons took turns beating him up. The other kids came in from the class, couldn't stop him. They kept pushing him around and hurting him. And our poor Harvey finally got away, but running down the steps fell to his death. Jimbo was taken away by the police. Then we told our side of the story, but they never charged him with Harvey's murder. It was an accident, they said. Kids will be kids, the school said. They never stood up for any of us. So years later, we get to see each other again after going our separate ways. The high school reunion time. Never forgetting our bond, the Wallflowers Club, that what was left of us. Poor Susan went by the wayside, never fully recovered from Harvey's murder, as we called it. We were very close back then, and they were closer. Almost like boyfriend and girlfriend. We saw our enemies, Jimbo, fat and bald, none of his friends around him now. Embarrassed, but still a bully. Cool girls all dressed up like bimbos with their fake hair and nails, still looking for Mr. Right. Oh, we didn't have to take things in our own hands. They did it to themselves. Doug and Stu have a successful computer company, and they made it big. Even look handsomer than those cool boys from school, who are now old and losers. Debbie had a wonderful husband and 3 kids. She's also a college professor. Guess what I am? I'm a movie script writer, and my years as a wallflower came in handy. I helped out with many movies and books. I became famous in my own right. I have a book series called The Wallflowers Club, and it's getting high praises from the readers. I even got an offer for a show. Just like The Revenge of the Nerds and the thriller classic Carrie, whose writers probably grew up like we did. Wallflowers, picked on. The nerds do get our revenge in the end. We are the winners in the end. I know there's probably bullies out there. There's cool kids who pick on the less fortunate. But maybe these stories and movies will have them think twice about picking on the little guys and girls. I hope so. To all wonderful wallflowers, genius geeks, you'll have your glory and fame someday. It will come soon enough. I hope you enjoyed this story. Come back for more on Meg's Mysteries. Until next time, have a good evening.
Stories about the past, murder, mayhem, solving truth or myths through the fog and the mist. Meg's Mysteries tells the tales of legends of the past, present and future, mythical stories of who done it. Most of all, it's done for fun. Or is it?